Step one for the Wisconsin Badgers now accomplished. They're in their 4th Big Ten championship game. Now the next step for Wisconsin, try to get into the top 4 of the college football playoff. And this is the road they have to take. They're in number 6 position right now. You need to be in the top 4, but a lot of room to move over the next couple of weeks for the Wisconsin Badgers. BTN football today in Madison, Wisconsin, where the Wisconsin Badgers, winners of the berth in the Big Ten championship game from the West Division, will take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Matt Millen, I'm Kevin Kugler. Wonderful to have you with us to wrap up the regular season here in Madison today. We know Michigan and Ohio State still going on a tight battle in Columbus. Those two teams, one of which could be in that Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin.
And so what happens is the path becomes a little clearer, still a little bit muddled. But if Michigan wins, they know they have not only an opportunity to win the Big Ten title, but then get on to the playoffs because they could be the top 4 team. Other than that, it gets a little more muddled, and there are still games to play next week in championship games of the ACC and the Big 12, and then it will be finally cleared up.
Well, let's talk about motivation for Wisconsin today, then. They've already clinched the division, but there's a lot for this Badger team to play for.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's all in front of them, too. Look, nothing happens, though, however, until they beat this team. They've got to win this team. They've got to carry momentum going forward, because there's a lot out in front of them, the least of which is becoming a top 4 team and getting into the college playoff.
We check in for the first time today with Lisa Byington.
Kevin, quiet and businesslike was the mood on the Wisconsin bus to the team hotel last night as that Iowa and Nebraska game was wrapping up. In fact, I talked to a couple of Badger assistant coaches, and I said, did Coach Chris congratulate anyone on the division title? And the answer was, well, he kind of did and he kind of didn't. He met with his staff here this morning and said, congratulations, I guess. But we all know that today is a big game for us. In fact, when I talked to Coach Chris on the field in the pregame, he said, Lisa, today is big. Today is big. Today is big.
Minnesota wins the toss, and they have elected to receive. The Gophers are going on offense first in this one. And the kickoff into the band. It got to the drum line as Minnesota will come out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Mitch Leidner. Leidner is the first Big Ten quarterback since Antoine Randall to have over 7,000 pass yards and over 30 rushing touchdowns in his career. Elite company. He's going to need to be very good both running and passing today.
The big matchup today you're watching, it's going to be this Wisconsin defense against this Minnesota run game. And Mitch Leidner will be the wild card in this play.
Rodney Smith, the running back, Drew Wolotarski in motion. And on first down, Smith with the carry and Beagle with the stop near the 29-yard line. Let's check out Valero's keys to the game today, Matt.
You know, it's real strong, and it's controlling the line of scrimmage for this Minnesota Gopher offense. If they can control the line of scrimmage against a really talented defensive front of Wisconsin, they've got themselves a chance.
I'll trust your medical expertise on that.
Thank you.
2nd and 6. Leidner on the keep. Weaving forward, has the first down, and Leidner all the way out to the 41-yard line. Leo Musso on the stop, and a good run of 12 for Leidner. This from the umpire cam.
And keep in mind, the umpire's right behind those linebackers, so he gets a pretty good view of what the heck is going on in the interior.
Boy, it must be the final game of the season. We're breaking out all the bells and whistles today. The umpire wearing the camera on the hat. From the 41 on first down, play action. Leidner with good protection, airing it down the sideline, and it's dropped right through the hands of Rashad Still, who made a good adjustment, Matt, on the ball, but couldn't pull it in.
He had his opportunity. The ball hung in the air and then allowed the defender to be able to come back. Is that Tyndall?
That's Tyndall there on the coverage.
Yeah. Tyndall has that opportunity there because he was beat. Still had him to the top side. Better throw, better opportunity.
2nd down and 10. Opening possession of the ball game. Leidner with Smith behind him on 2nd down. And Leidner will keep again, and Leidner on the move with a lot of room. Leidner inside the 30 and out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 28. Leo Musso chasing him out, but Wisconsin biting on Smith in a ton of room.
And so we just said that the wild card will be the quarterback. It turns out to be the quarterback's feet. He's had great success. He talked about him in the same company as Antoine Randall. It's going to be something he's serving notice early, that you have to take care of that quarterback.
32 yards on the run for Leidner. Here's Smith on first down. A hole, bounces off Musso and dives ahead to the 5-yard line. 10 yards for Rodney Smith. Dixon and Dooley save the touchdown.
Yeah, and look, here's the big piece, is right inside. And this is just power football. Power football up inside. And I'll tell you, Smith is tough. He is really good. It's open space, but he is also equally as good when he has to lower his pads and use power. He's got enough of it.
First and goal from the 5. Smith again with the carry. Not much running room this time for Smith. Met and driven back by Edwards, among others. As we check out the Auto Owners impact players.
Well, it's pretty simple. Rodney Smith has had a tremendous year. I mean, you've got to be able to handle him. Walt Tarski on third down has just been pure money. And T.J. Watt, along with Vince Beagle on the other side, they have been really lights out, playing great defense. They're going to need their big play capability.
Second and goal at the 6-yard line. Leidner floating it for Wolotarski in the back of the end zone. Can't make the play. Dakota Dixon on the coverage.
Nicely done by Dixon, but he was beaten. A little bit better throw by Leidner. I'm not even going to say that. That's a great throw by Leidner. That's a great throw. Wolotarski rarely drops that. He did right there. Wolotarski's the guy. That's their go-to guy. He's the guy who understands leverage, understands how to beat coverage, and they're going to need him right now.
11th play of this opening drive. Third and goal. Leidner on the keep. Leidner not going to get there. T.J. Edwards in there to make the stop once more. Vince Beagle also at the bottom of the pile, and it's fourth down.
Kevin, when we start talking about the multiplicity of this defense of Wisconsin, we're really talking about their linebackers. The linebacker play has just been terrific. And it's not just Beagle, it's not just Watt. There's been a multitude of guys who've been able to do that.
Emmett Carpenter on the field goal try of 21 yards. And Carpenter gives Minnesota the early 3-0 lead. Emmett Carpenter punches 3 on the board. Minnesota up early. Latrell Jamerson back deep awaiting the kickoff. And Jamerson on the short kickoff from the 4-yard line. Jamerson hole up the middle across the 25 and down shy of the 30-yard line. Alex Hornibrook getting some excellent field position to start off. Under 100 passing yards in each of the last 4 games for Hornibrook, but it hasn't mattered. They're 4-0 in those games. His job is not necessarily to throw for a lot of yards. Bart Houston will come on. He's got the 4th highest passer rating among FBS quarterbacks in the last 5 games. We will see both of those guys early in this first quarter. First half, perhaps, depending on how the timing goes.
By design.
On first down, Corey Clement shrugs off a tackle. Jonathan Celestine on the stop across the 45-yard line. The Valero key to the game with Wisconsin.
That's no surprise. This offense is completely built around this running game. Corey Clement, of course, is the lead dog in that thing. But they've got to keep this running game going. And it's going to be tough because this defensive front of Minnesota is strong, especially Richardson, 96. Keep an eye on him versus their inside 3. He can really mess things up. You see him right there over Benshaw, 66.
Had 2 sacks last week. Clement again. Not a lot of room to run. That line got blown up on that side to the 43. And it's 3rd down and 10 now for Wisconsin.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's Richardson on the inside. That guy is an anchor. And he plays tough inside. He's got good quickness. He gets off blocks well. Just watching the tape, I believe that this Minnesota defense felt very good about their matchups inside against this Wisconsin team.
Dario Gundawale in at running back now on 3rd down and 10. Hornibrook with time to the sideline, open 1st down. George rushing with his 10th catch of the year. Antonio Chenault on the coverage, and a good throw from Hornibrook for the 1st down.
And nice protection. So Hornibrook gets the protection, and then he's an accurate guy. 2 things that you know about watching Alex Hornibrook. He's accurate with the football, and he's a cool cucumber back there in the pocket. Not a lot of things get to him or bother him, so he sees the field and reacts to it really well.
To the sideline, a little bit too tall for Jazz Peavy. By millimeters. Mike Hall's been a long proponent of the metric system. It's nice to see him work that in.
Oh, I thought he said millimeters. I'm sorry. Those are extra. Those are a little bigger. Yeah, of course.
On 2nd down, Bradrick Shaw, the freshman, gets his first carry, and he takes it to Minnesota's 48-yard line. Jack Lynn on the stop. So now 3rd and 6, Matt, for the Badgers.
Hornibrook has been on. Now, the last one sailed on him a little bit when he was running here to the left. But they've given him pretty good protection. If he gets his protection, it looks like he's on here in this early going.
Peavy and Wheelwright are the receivers to the bottom of the screen. 3rd down for Wisconsin. Tough snap to handle. Hornibrook under pressure, and Hornibrook is sacked. They did not call him in the grasp as he got rid of that one. QB Timms was driving him down.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. Number 81 was in the area. It's an incomplete pass.
Wow.
4th down.
I thought for sure he was on his way down, and so did Tracy Clays.
So did Tracy Clays. Let's see exactly, because there's the hit. He's on his way down. Whoa.
Boy.
That's a late one. Let's see if his keister's down. It's down when the ball's still in his hand. They better punt that as quickly as they can.
That's right. QB Timms should have his 2nd sack of the year.
Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball.
And the punt fielded by Harden at the 9. Makes the first man miss. Harden with a spin, and is going to be down near the 17-yard line. 1st down and 10. Leidner going to the air. It is caught by Still, and Rashad Still with a 1st down at the 44. Leo Musso on the tackle, and Minnesota looks crisp early in their offensive game plan.
I like what Jay Johnson, the offensive coordinator for Minnesota, is doing right now. He's involved Leidner's feet. He got them early. And then he sees right now he's got a hot hand, so he's letting him go. So between the run game, the pass game, he's mixing it up really well. Nice play called by Jay Johnson.
Cut by Brooks, got him a couple out near the 46-yard line. Give him 2 before T.J. Edwards and Ryan Conley were there to bring him down. And we'll talk a lot about the linebackers today at Wisconsin.
Yeah, and one of the things you're not seeing is you're not seeing them trying to get to the edge. They're working the inside. And the reason is Watt on one side and Beagle on the other are outstanding edge players. And so they're attacking the middle. And so they're comfortable with that. And their inside 3 are doing right now. They're doing it pretty well. It up really well. Nice play called by Jay Johnson.
Cut by Brooks, got him a couple out near the 46-yard line. Give him 2 before T.J. Edwards and Ryan Conley were there to bring him down. And we'll talk a lot about the linebackers today at Wisconsin.
Yeah, and one of the things you're not seeing is you're not seeing them trying to get to the edge. They're working the inside. And the reason is Watt on one side and Beagle on the other are outstanding edge players. And so they're attacking the middle. And so they're comfortable with that, and their inside three are doing right now. They're doing it pretty well.
2nd and 8 at the 46. Leidner, protection breaking down, throws into traffic. What a catch by Wolotarski, short of the first down, but a dangerous pass by Leidner, and Wolotarski somehow able to snare it.
Well, Edwards had a chance of picking that thing off. He went for it and missed it. Leidner had enough juice on it to be able to get there. See this from this umpire cam. Oh, nice read by Edwards. That was a nice read. Just couldn't quite get there. Oh, just outside the stretch, and then it sets up this 3rd and about 1.5 yards to 2.
On 3rd down, Brooks again, fighting, churning, short. First one there was Vince Beagle.
Yeah, gotta love Vince Beagle. If I were picking a team, and there are people in Detroit that say, please don't do that, I would still take Vince Beagle. Vince Beagle is a heck of a football player.
End of the quarter, Minnesota with a 3-0 lead. We start the 2nd quarter with a Minnesota punt, 4th and 1 at the 47-yard line of Wisconsin, and Ryan Santoso in a game where field position will play a huge role. Will try to give the Wisconsin Badgers poor field position. This punt by Santoso, though, on the fly into the end zone and out to the 20 comes the touchback. New quarterback in as expected. 3rd series for Wisconsin. In comes Bart Houston. We knew both would play. It looked like it was going to be 2 series for one, and expect to see Bart Houston for the next couple of series, and then they'll do it by feel the rest of the way. Houston on 1st down, hands to Clement. And Corey Clement gets 3 to the 23-yard line. Nick Rawlis on the stop.
Anytime you're going to have any kind of success running against this Minnesota defense, you better handle those inside 3. Richardson's out, and you get Stettler inside. Richardson's on the sideline right now, but Stettler comes in, and they're tough. They're just tough on the interior. And why it's important against this game is the left guard position has not been real strong for this Wisconsin Badger team. They've struggled a little bit there.
Steffes in motion on 2nd down. Houston on the roll, tosses to Peavy for the first, and Jazz Peavy across the 35. Minnesota trying to rip it out of his hands, but he's down at the 38-yard line. A 15-yard pickup. Celestine and Harden on the stop for Minnesota.
A couple things right there. Houston on the roll, nicely done. And also, Peavy does a nice job of coming back to the ball. Comes back to the ball, he created the separation, and Houston was able to take advantage of that.
You know, you don't normally see a dual quarterback system work well for teams, but Wisconsin and Paul Chryst have really done a good job of managing this to the strengths of each of these 2 quarterbacks.
And that's the key, the strength to both these guys. And they understand their role, and they're comfortable with their role.
On 1st down, Peavy will get the carry. Flag is down as Peavy gets some good yardage out near midfield before Celestine can track him down. That flag down, though, on the edge at the 35-yard line.
Way to be definitive.
Defense number 93. That penalty's declined, result of the play. 1st down.
Well, you judge it usually by how the offensive linemen react, and they all started walking back.
They don't know. They're just linemen. Jackson.
All I know is all year listening and watching film with you, you say, watch the linemen. Their eyes won't lie. Those guards won't lie.
They don't.
And the guards started walking back. They lied.
That's because you're looking at them after the play.
Oh, that's the problem. 1st and 10 at midfield. Houston to the sideline, and the catch by Fumagalli, and out of bounds.
That's a nice throw. Nice throw. That's a small window. Fumagalli does a nice job of getting the foot down in bounds also. But everything on this thing is tight. That's a nice catch. The ball, coverage, everything converges at the same time. That's just a nice play all the way around.
Excellent camera work by our crew, too. Got that first foot in along the sidelines, and a good definitive look at that.
I think Fumagalli could be another wild card here in this game. They don't really have a big-time speed guy outside, but Fumagalli presents some mismatches inside.
Steffes in motion on 1st down. Corey Clement to the outside. And Clement taking on Jalen Myrick and bowls him over close to the first down.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're playing a numbers game. Joe Rudolph is the offensive play caller along with Paul Christ. And so what they're trying to do is they're giving you motions, the movements, and they're saying who's adjusting and how they're adjusting. And then what you do is you try to manipulate that to get as few people to his side as possible. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. They just got one less defender and bounced it outside.
First series for Bart Houston, and the Badgers on the move. From the 28-yard line, first down. Steffes again in motion. Now Peavy the motion man. Clement the carry. Clement in trouble in the backfield, and a wonderful job by Nick Wallace.
Now, see? He believed his eyes. Because those linemen, they lie. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
The linemen don't lie. The linemen don't lie, sorry. I was trying to give you an okey-doke. Morales believed everything I told you, and that's why he made that big play.
Jay Saundville was telling us his mind works 1,000 miles a minute. He says it's his mind that gets him from A to B because he sees everything that's going on and processes it quickly. Second and 12 at the 30-yard line. Houston with backside pressure steps up. Houston finds his man on the sideline. It's caught by Quintez Cephas, and he's out of bounds with a first and goal at the 8.
That was an outstanding play by Bart Houston. First, he had the wherewithal in the pocket, and he's able to step up and buy some time. He's going to get pressure on the backside. Steps up, goes to his first on the top side, knows it's not there, comes back to his second, probably third read. That is just really well done by Bart Houston.
And Cephas just his 4th catch of the year, and a big one for the Badgers. Now the play clock is at 7. Wisconsin's going to have to hurry if they're going to get this one off in time. Play clock at 3. They do get it off in time. It's Clement with the carry, and Clement in the backfield is dropped. Give him a yard to the 7, where it'll be second and goal. Jack Lynn on the stop.
They're not going to make much money down inside in that interior. That Minnesota defensive front, those tackles inside, they're owning that territory. So you know as a linebacker that's really not going to be a problem for you, which allows you to be able to flow a little quicker, knowing that your tackles are owning that ground.
Now Wisconsin's defense was able to get a stop in this territory against the Minnesota offense. Minnesota's defense trying to return the favor on second and goal for the Badgers. Clement, oh, nice cutback. Clement down inside the 2 to the 1.
That was all Corey Clement. Nice job running with his eyes. You show up on the right side, he cuts to the left. You see a defender, you go in back inside, and then run behind your pads at the end, which is what he does. A good spot. It's where the ball is. The knee hadn't touched. So now you have third and goal.
At the 1-yard line.
This is usually Ingold territory.
Ingold's in the backfield, offset. Clement the running back. Now Ingold shifts in motion to the eye. On third down, it's Ingold with the carry. Ingold fighting for the goal line, and Ingold is stopped short.
Ball's got to cross that plane.
Let's see if it did. The officials are saying it did not. They are marking him short. Alec Ingold with 1 rushing touchdown this year. Let's see if the ball got across here at the very end of this play.
Going.
Ruling in the field is the runner was short of the goal line. Offside. Defense. Unless half the distance to the goal line. Repeat, third down.
I don't know about that. Let's see if a knee is down or it's on top of a mass of humanity. That's 6. That looks like it's 6 to me.
Carrier reached the ball across the plane before he was down. It is a touchdown. Please reset the game clock to 9 minutes, 19 seconds. The offside penalty is declined. 9:19 on the clock, please.
I'll tell you what, it may be our final game of the season on BTN, but our camera crew is in mid-season form today. What a look to give for the replay booth to see the Alec Ingold touchdown. And the Badgers take the 6-3 lead.
What I like about it, if you're a Wisconsin fan, is they went right at the teeth of that defense, right inside, and Ingold came through.
What a drive for Mark Houston and the Wisconsin Badgers. The extra point is good. It is 7-3 Wisconsin. The battle for the Axe. Paul Chryst says a long way to go. Alec Ingold says, I want to keep the Axe in Madison. Badgers with a 7-3 lead after the 10-play, 80-yard touchdown drive. 9:19 remaining in the first half. Alec Ingold with the touchdown. Here's the championship scenario for the Badgers. They'll play Penn State if the Nittany Lions get the win over Michigan State. Otherwise, they'll play Ohio State, winners in double overtime, in the game against Michigan earlier today. Michigan State with a 6-0 lead over Penn State, and that one in a short kickoff. Very short and high, fielded by Keontae Harden. And Harden breaking a tackle on Harden down the sideline. Keontae Harden caught from behind by Jamerson, who saves the touchdown.
Well, the whole thing was the kick, Kevin. You were right. It was short, and it was able to be run up on full speed as he catches this thing. He's just off to the races. Watch how he's able to field it. Going forward full speed right there. And then it opens. And then it's just down that right sideline. A big-time play.
69-yard return and a momentum shifter. After the 10-play, 80-yard drive, Keontae Harden takes it back 69 yards, and the Gophers with it first down at the 13-yard line. Can Minnesota cash in on the opportunity? Leidner on the first play for Wolitarsky, touchdown!
Kevin, this is a different Mitch Leidner than we saw a couple weeks ago. He is on. Wolitarsky did a great job of leveraging the defender, keeping him to his side. And Leidner was dead on with that throw.
Only his third touchdown pass against an FBS opponent this year, and just his second since October 1st against Penn State. And a strike to Drew Wolitarsky, his 5th touchdown catch of the year.
Gotta like that call by Jay Johnson. That is just that's a great call.
Emmett Carpenter's extra point gives Minnesota the 10-7 lead. 69-yard kickoff return for Keontae Harden. And Mitch Leidner says, I only need one play. Drew Wolitarsky into the end zone for the 5th time. Wolitarsky celebrating with the big guys up front. Huge kickoff return and a touchdown pass from Leidner to Wolitarsky, giving the Gophers the lead. Badgers will get it back moments after that 10-play, 80-yard drive concluded, and Jamerson with a little bobble is not going to return it. It'll be a touchback to the 25-yard line. Alongside Matt Millen, I'm Kevin Kugler. It's great to have you with us as we wrap up this Thanksgiving weekend and the regular season of college football. And this Wisconsin team trying to get themselves in really good position to make a run at one of those top 4 spots.
Yeah, and if they're going to do that, what they can't do is they can't get into kind of a shootout game. Now, neither of these teams are built for that kind of thing. But Wisconsin, they've kind of struggled putting a lot of points on the board. I will say this, though. I think Paul Chryst and what he's done with his staff and his team has been tremendous. I think he's a Coach of the Year guy. I think he's one of those guys you have to consider really strongly, and we'll see how they respond to this last score.
Bart Houston on for his 2nd series, led the Badgers on a 10-play, 80-yard drive a moment ago. And on first down, play action. Houston sets up the screen for Fumagalli. Fumagalli with room on the sideline, and the tight end rumbles his way out to the 45.
That's a really nicely called play. I like the design of that play. And so he goes out to pick up the outside backer, the guy who's going to come as a rush, and then see how he does that, and he just falls back off. That is just really well designed, and Fumagalli picks up a big first down.
21 yards on that screen to Troy Fumagalli. Bradrick Shaw, the running back here for Wisconsin. Now they'll shift Austin Ramish into the backfield as well. Shaw bounces off a tackler and then falls at the 45. Loss of 1 on the play. It was Galen Elmore who got in there and knocked Shaw off balance, and Shaw couldn't keep his footing.
A lot of movement going on down inside of that defensive line of Minnesota. And so both these teams are similar with their offensive lines. They're big, physical guys. They like to have you line up in front of them and stay there. So when you give them movement, they're not the best at redirecting. And so they'll use that against them. Keep your eyes on Richardson right there. over that left guard. He's been...
Second and 11, Houston to the air, and the first incompletion for Bart Houston.
Yeah,
now 4 for 5 for 69 yards.
Not his fault. Fumagalli should have made that catch. He put it right on him. Houston has brought his A game. You're going to watch Richardson. See how they're giving the movement? His job right there is to get contained on the pass rush. So that's where he's going. But he's been owning that inside space. They've not had great success running inside against Minnesota.
Four-man rush for Houston with time to the sideline through the fingertips of George Rushing. And incomplete. Would have been close to the first down, but instead, Houston and the offense will leave the field, and the punt team comes on for the Badgers.
A little bit too much. Good protection. Had time to be able to throw it. Rushing ran a decent route. The ball was just a little bit too high for him.
Two returners back as Lottie gets set for his third punt of the afternoon. Wisconsin to punt it away with Lottie. From the 27-yard line. Little stutter step. Harden not able to find much running room this time. Good play by Watt. A 45-yard punt. Gophers try to knock off the Badgers in 4 quarters here. And the first play is Rodney Smith, who gets a first down to the 43-yard line. We talked about the quarterback duo of the Badgers. How about this running back duo for the Gophers, Matt?
Well, we've seen these guys all year long, and what they're really benefiting from is nice blocking up front by this offensive line of Minnesota. They have brought their A game today. They're staying inside. Like I said, they haven't been trying to get to the edges. They're working the inside.
From the 43-yard line, first down, averaging nearly 6 yards per carry, the Gophers. Leidner in some trouble. Leidner pumping, throwing, and what a catch by Wolotarski! He tipped it to himself, and a giant first down for the Gophers.
They had a chance to make a play, but the defenders, they missed it. Wolotarski just does a great job of the tip drill.
That's a BTN standout. We've got to give him the honors for that. Look at that. A catch along the sidelines, keeps his feet in, and then able to motor forward for more yardage.
Yeah, it looks like Musso's down, who they need. That's a good football player.
Musso back up again. So Musso looks to be okay as he makes his way to the sideline. Let's go downstairs to Lisa Byington.
Yeah, Alex Hornibrook, after several minutes being tended to in the tent by the medical staff, they're now walking him out back into the tunnel in the locker room. You know, there's only 2.5 minutes to play here in the half, but we'll definitely keep an eye on that, and I'll have a report coming out of the half.
All right, Lisa, thanks very much. Sojourn Shelton was the guy who collided with Leo Musso that created the discomfort for the senior safety, Musso.
Shelton looks like he went for the pick, missed it. Wolotarski was able to get the old tip drill going, and
there goes Alex Hornibrook.
Back up the tunnel.
22-yard line for the Gophers, who have some momentum and the lead. Wozniak, the motion man. Leidner on the keep. And Leidner hit hard by Dakota Dixon as he gets to the 17-yard line. It's a long walk for Alex Hornibrook. Second and 6 after the big hit by Dakota Dixon on Leidner.
Number 14 on the defense must leave the game for one play. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 58 seconds. 1:58, it'll start on my signal.
Dixon didn't want to leave. He's not too pleased with this, and here's the reason why. He gets a good hit on him. And they just thought he didn't look the same, which I like that rule.
Yeah,
that's a good rule. Garrett Dooley also comes in off the edge for Buda.
Play action. Leidner under some heat, in trouble, and Leidner will throw it away. He had Alec James and T.J. Edwards breathing down his neck, and just got rid of that one.
Was outside the pocket.
Coming up on our Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report, Dave and the gang will get you caught up. The final week of the Big Ten season, at least the regular season, coming into a little more focus. We know Ohio State has a chance now at the Big Ten championship game. Of course, Penn State can stand in their way and get that berth out of the East if they beat Michigan State. Dave and the gang will have all the details and everything you need coming up at halftime. 3rd down and 5. Minnesota just 1 for 5 on 3rd down.
Still have to watch Leidner's feet.
Leidner to the sideline, coming back for it is Still, who makes the catch, and it's 1st and goal, Gophers inside the 7.
You don't really have to when he's throwing like this. You know, a couple games ago, we had him against Nebraska. You know, I made the comment about which Mitch Leidner is going to show up, the good Mitch Leidner or the bad Mitch Leidner. And he's been inconsistent, but today he's been lights out. He has made great decisions. The ball's coming off fast. He's taken when he's used his eyes to take off and run a few times. This has been the Mitch Leidner show.
Paul Bunyan's axe up for grabs, and it's been a long time since the Gophers were able to claim it and bring it home. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. The give to Smith, and Rodney Smith still fighting. Smith stacked up at the 3. Vince Beagle and T.J. Watt there to combine to bring down Rodney Smith. Minnesota 10, Wisconsin 7. 59 seconds remaining in the 1st half, and a 2nd and goal for the Gophers at the Badger 3.
Kevin, this offensive line, those inside 5, they're winning the battle against that Wisconsin defense.
Wolotarski, the motion man on 2nd down. Leidner on the keep, slips a tackle, and Leidner in for the touchdown. Garrett Dooley had a shot at him in the backfield, but Leidner would not be denied.
That's right. It's been the Mitch Leidner show. And he shows not only his ability with his strength in his run and his speed, but also his awareness. Watch this. That's a great read. And there's the shake, and there's the 6.
Tracy Claeys liking what he sees from his Gophers in a very good 1st half.
Oh, they played lights out here in this 1st half.
226 yards of offense already for Minnesota against a defense that allows 292 on average per game. And for Paul Christ's Badgers, who found out yesterday that they clinched their spot in the Big Ten championship game, need some work going their way in the 2nd half as they make their way up the tunnel. This Badger team down by 10 at the break to the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Long way to go in this one, but Minnesota on the road with the early 10-point lead. Touchdown by Ingold made Paul Christ happy at that moment, but a lot of work from Leidner and Wolotarski has given the Gophers the halftime lead. The battle for Paul Bunyan's axe heating up. Minnesota with the 10-point halftime lead over 6th-ranked Wisconsin here at Camp Randall Stadium. Alongside Matt Millen, I'm Kevin Kugler, and Minnesota has been getting it done. Yeah. No fluke in this one, getting it done on the ground, Matt.
Well, to me, it's the fighting Mitch Leidner's. I think he's been doing it on the ground, and when they've needed him to throw the football, he has been dead on. So the 1st half has belonged to Mitch Leidner. The question is, can the defense of Wisconsin slow him down here in the 2nd half? Because he's taking this game over in the 1st half.
Check in back with Lisa Byington.
Well, Kevin, the news on Wisconsin quarterback Alex Hornibrook is that he is out for the rest of the game. So that means Badgers are going to have to go with their senior on senior night here in Bart Houston. And you know Paul Christ, he's not a rah-rah guy, so he didn't give any rah-rah speeches to Bart Houston. He said he's the guy we have to go with. Tracy Claeys pleased with his quarterback, said there's nothing different about Mitch Leidner tonight. Everything he's done here so far are things he knows he can do. He's playing to the game, and if I do have a concern, it's with the protection of Mitch. We have to do a better job of that in the 2nd half. Of note of that, I noticed that Mitch Leidner was trying to loosen up his left shoulder midway through the 2nd quarter after taking that hard sack hit.
All right, Lise, thanks very much. That would be devastating. Leidner hopefully will be okay. Here's what knocked Alex Hornibrook from this game. The big hit by Jack Lynn, and then the big hit on the sideline for Hornibrook. So Alex Hornibrook is out the rest of the day, and if the Badgers are going to rally, it's going to be on the right arm of that man, Bart Houston, the senior, who comes into this one ready to rally his team down 10.
Yeah, and he's played well in this 1st half. If they're going to rally, they got to catch the ball.
And the kickoff will go into the end zone, and the touchback will bring it out to the 25-yard line. First down and 10 for the Badgers at the 25.
Kevin, the other thing we said at the start of the game, the key for this Wisconsin team was to run the football. Well, they had 46 yards in the first half. That is not up to standard. So credit that Minnesota defense. Remember, we said the inside they've taken away. And Wisconsin's got to be able to find their groove in the run game.
Just 2.7 yards per carry, Matt. That's unheard of for a Wisconsin team that on the year has averaged over 200 yards on the ground per game. On first down, play action for Houston. To the sideline and pulled in by Troy Fumagalli.
Wow, that's a great catch by Fumagalli. Because he was really well covered by Harden. Harden was right all over him. Watch this, a fight for the football. Who's got the strongest hands? Harden trying to strip it, and his fingertips went nicely done by Fumagalli. Said at the start of this game that Fumagalli could be one of those wild card guys. They're going to need more of that here in the second half if they're going to get back on their horse.
First down for the 48, 4 catches for Fumagalli for 46 yards. And on first down, Clement to carry. And lunging out to midfield with Jack Lynn wrapped around him. 2nd and 8.
Rallis came, and he read it again. Beating him with his brain, so he saw that. Corey Clement cut back to the right side. I like this Rallis kid. I like the guys who think things through and eliminate things from their brain and then work, you know, toward what shows. That's really well done by Rallis.
How do you find that line between thinking things through and thinking too much that it slows you down a little bit?
It happens sometimes, but if you read your keys and you've done your homework, you get through that list pretty quickly.
2nd and 8 at midfield. Houston, nobody open, in some trouble, gets away, but Houston on the run, and Houston with a first down.
That's all Bart Houston. Good coverage on the outside, forcing to pull it down, and then he's able to get away from a would-be sacker right there.
They let him go down.
The rest was all feet. That's exactly what Leidner did in the first half that ignited his team.
So from the 38 of Minnesota, Bart Houston getting this Wisconsin offense going on the opening drive of the second half. Clement to carry. Little stutter step and down to the 35-yard line. Corey Clement with 3. 2nd and 7 for the Badgers, trailing by 10, but on the move at the Minnesota 35-yard line. Bart Houston on the roll. Throws it short. PB with a catch. Got a first down out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Picks up 13 before Keontae Harden can get him. And a first down for the Badgers. They're in the Big Ten championship game. We know that. Penn State is their opponent if Penn State beats Michigan State. Otherwise, it'll be the Buckeyes of Ohio State. At halftime, Michigan State leads Penn State 12-10 in that game. So the Buckeyes right now, if that's how it were to end, and obviously a long way to go in that, but if that's how it were to end, it would be the Buckeyes against Wisconsin in the championship game.
Their concern right now is just that Gopher defense.
From the 22, off play action. Houston looking for the end zone. Looking for Fumagalli, and he can't get it to him. Coverage by Winfield, and it's 2nd down.
Antoine Winfield's been a really, really good addition to this defense. He really has very good cover skills, and he has good instincts. Of course, his dad played for a long time. Now, this ball just a little bit too much for Fumagalli, but the coverage was right there by Winfield. Just a freshman. Good player.
Didn't play much in the first couple of games. Now he's in there for every single play. And, you know, you talk with Jay Sawville, and he says the most amazing thing about Winfield, there's no freshman wall with this kid. He just continues to play at a high level. 2nd and 10 at the 22. Ogumba dropped in the backfield. Hendrick Ekpe with the penetration to get there first, helped out by Shuby Timms.
You know, they came with a blitz, and they also accompanied that blitz with a slant to the inside. See how they're all slanting down to the right? That's exactly what got them and beat the blockers to the edge, and they were able to set up this 3rd and long. So this 3rd down long now has to go to Houston. Bart Houston's been on the money. And his feet have provided him a little bit of ability to buy some time.
Remember, Andrew Endicott, erratic as a kicker for Wisconsin. Field goal is iffy. 3rd and 14 at the 26. Houston to the sideline with the catch.
Well, he's on.
Jazz Peavy with the grab. Now, he's short of the first down, but what it does is put you into much more comfortable field goal range if you choose it for Andrew Endicott, who will jog on now.
Yeah. It was interesting talking to Paul Chris about his kicker. How do you feel about Endicott? Love him. Love him. He's our guy. That's our guy. That's what we got. That's what we're going with. And that's the attitude that you have to have.
Well, he'd never kicked a field goal or an extra point until this year. You see the numbers. This is a 33-yard try for Andrew Endicott. On senior day, a senior kicker trying to provide a spark. And Endicott's kick is up. Did it sneak in? It did.
Oh, it did.
It just snuck in around that right upright.
I thought he missed it.
If he'd have been 5 yards further back, it would have continued on that trajectory and probably missed.
Timeout.
But that one sneaks in, and Endicott from 33 yards out, able to get this one just tucked inside that right upright. Didn't make it by much, but it counts as 3 just the same. 17-10 Minnesota, and Paul Chris creeping closer. Wisconsin on the board thanks to the 33-yard field goal from Andrew Endicott, making it 17-10.
Yeah, I want you to watch this official right down here. So his job is to view this all the way through in case it goes on top of the bar, which is exactly what it does. It's not, so his job is to see and judge if it went inside as it protrudes all the way through. Then he'll look to the other official. They'll give a nod to each other if it's good, and then the arms go up. Well officiated.
17-10 lead and the kickoff. Keontae Harden will stay in the end zone. A touchback to the 25-yard line. For more on Endicott, let's check in with Lisa Byington.
He admitted to me in the pregame that going in that direction, kicking field goals in that direction, is more challenging for him in terms of finding a target point. He says he aims for the W on the building, but going towards that side, there are fewer things to aim at, and he compared kicking to finding the line in putting like golf. He said it's much easier when I go the opposite direction. There are many more things on that scoreboard to target. Oh, by the way, he's got a 2 handicap in golf.
Oh, well, that's just great. A 2 handicap in golf.
Is that good?
That's really good, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's really good. You would not have a 2 handicap.
I hit the windmill every time.
First down at the 25. Leidner off play action for the sideline, and the catch by Rashad Still, and a first down. Sojourn Shelton on the coverage.
Now that model right there, that model wide receiver comes with ABS. You see how he just put the brakes on and stopped and turned around? That is really well done. That's a really well done job by Still.
Well, really good work by his left foot, because as it was coming down behind him, he somehow was able to tap it inbounds from the 47 on first down, and they give up the middle to Rodney Smith, and Smith into Wisconsin territory at the 49. Songapolu on the stop for Wisconsin.
This Rodney Smith has been running tough inside, and so they haven't really tested the edges because of Beagle on one side and Watt on the other. So they've been running inside, and they've been having success, and that's credit to this offensive line and also Rodney Smith.
8 carries, 36 yards for Smith from the 49. Play fake again. Songapolu with the sack.
Told you to use that club. Songapolu with a rare sack inside, and they just don't block him. They just don't block him. He takes advantage of it. Look at that big old club. How'd you like to be in front of that thing? Holy smokes.
I will decline. Only the 11th time Minnesota's been sacked this season. They came in allowing just 9 sacks and 19 straight games allowing 2 or less. Wisconsin's got 2 right now. Leidner on 3rd and 12, wide of Carter and a flag. Sojourn Shelton on the coverage again.
I got thrown by that side judge up high. His job is that right there. He's the #1 receiver to the outside. He's eyeballing the whole way. Sojourn Shelton not pleased with that call.
Pass interference. Defense number 9. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
He meant 8.
Sojourn Shelton is the guilty party there. We head to the fourth. An upset brewing. And an axe maybe changing hands. Start of the fourth quarter, 17-10. Minnesota with the advantage over Wisconsin on today's installment of Dr. Pepper Traditions of the Game. We talk about a certain House of Pain song that, well, it brings the Camp Randall crowd to its feet at the end of the third quarter. October 10th, 1998 is when it started. The marketing department was trying to help the anemic Badger offense that day. It has become one of the great college game day rituals. Jump around, sponsored by Dr. Pepper. It's a tradition, and it's time to jump in Madison. They instituted it on October 10th of 1998 to try to jumpstart the Badger offense that day. Perhaps it will have the same effect in this final regular season game. First and 10 at the 47-yard line. And the handoff over the left side to Rodney Smith, who gets a yard, and that's all. Sheehy and Dixon stopping that Rodney Smith effort, and it's second down.
Okay, if I'm the play caller for Minnesota, I want to get Mitch Leidner's feet back into the equation. In the first half, he took off and ran on a couple things. Some were designed, some weren't. But those design runs really, I think it kind of got this defense a little off kilter a little bit. Right now, they can't get to the edge. They're trying to stay inside. They've had some success, but Leidner's feet, I think, would be a big part.
Second and 9. That's BB in motion. Play action. Leidner with pressure coming, and he's hit and sacked. TJ Watt, who had the play on special teams a moment ago, with the sack, the third time today that Minnesota has been sacked, and the first time in 20 games they've allowed more than 2 sacks.
Yeah, you're going to watch him up top here. He's just going to beat this tackle. It's clean. Going to get to the top side. Guard pulls out, and it was, he got overextended. Watt just used his momentum against him and then hunted down Leidner. Sets up this third down. Big third down for this Wisconsin defense.
1.5 sacks today for TJ Watt, 9.5 on the year. Third and 15, Leidner to the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Shelton. Sojourn Shelton looking for a touchdown. Shelton going to be caught by Leidner and then tossed to the sideline inside the 20.
They trusted their defense, and the defense answered. Mitch Leidner throwing to his right side, and it was just a bust. They weren't on the same page. Shelton was reading the whole thing. Carter just kept on going. It looked like it was going to either try to run a comeback or something right at the sticks. But Shelton was more aware, and the result is first and 10 from the 19-yard line.
And Sojourn Shelton's third interception of the year, none bigger. As Wisconsin with a chance to tie this one up. Here's Clement. Corey Clement caught from behind by Nick Wallace, who's been everywhere today. 1 yard on the play.
Yes, he has. Celestine right there also. But Nick Wallace he's been the man inside. He has really had really good reads, and he's been solid the whole time. Hasn't given any ground. Good performance here today. That had the potential for a big play.
Ingold in motion on second down. Houston over the middle. Wheelwright with the grab, and he's down inside the 5 near the 2. First and goal. Wisconsin.
That's a good throw by Bart Houston. Watch the location. Here's the first on the inside, and the ball's going to come zipping right past you. But see the location? It was a small window. Rawls had made his drop. Safety's over the top. You've got to put that in a small spot. Timeout. And he does that.
There's Alex Hornibrook on the sidelines. He's done for the day, injured in the first half. First and goal. Houston. Clement. Close. Touchdown.
Just pure power. Off the left edge. They stayed away from the middle. They just tried to get to the edge. Now watch the power. He's still up. He's on top of a body, and so nothing of his touches. It doesn't appear.
Andrew Endicott on for the extra point.
Is that?
It's real.
What? I know it's a real what?
It's Singer as the kick is up. And the kick is good. 17 all, brand new ball game for Paul Bunyan's Axe. The interception, the key in this one. As Sojourn Shelton starts it, Corey Clement finishes it, and Paul Chris knows we got a brand new game. With Michigan losing today to Ohio State, that left Penn State in control of their own destiny, and they appear to be taking advantage of that opportunity, leading Michigan State 31-12. If they win, they're in the Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin, who's now tied here with Minnesota. And the kickoff will go into the end zone for the touchback out to the 25 come the Gophers. From the 26 on first down, play action. Leidner in trouble, hit as he throws down the sideline for Wolotarski, who can't pull it in. Tyndall on the coverage, and a flag.
He was out of bounds.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, they're going to call that. They're going to call that. If he'd have whipped his head around, he had no idea where the ball was. Wolotarski was out of bounds, but he kind of forced him out. Part of that. That's a good call.
41-yard line, first down. Looking for running room. Not much there for Rodney Smith. Billy Hirschfeld, one of those sophomore defensive linemen, makes the tackle for Wisconsin.
Looks like Edwards came on a blitz and forced him to redirect, and then Hirschfeld was able to make the play. So Edwards makes the play, Hirschfeld makes the tackle.
The battle for Paul Bunyan's Axe coming down to the final 9.5 minutes in a tie game. The 126th meeting all-time. Gophers lead the series 59-58 with 8 ties. The run up the middle for Smith, and Smith tackled by Dakota Dixon at the 48. It's a pickup of 5.
Those safeties have been really active here. They're gonna, now you got, here you go, third and short, third and very manageable. Let's see exactly what happens. They've had success running it to the inside. In comes Songapello, here comes the big old boys to be able to anchor that front. Abasi and Songapello inside. Let's see where they go. Tight coverage outside. Safety's down in the box. You're adding a man.
3rd and 3.
There's a stunt.
Right up the middle. Smith won't get there.
Yeah, they brought the edge. They brought edge pressure. And Connolly was able to get the edge, get the ankle. But they ran, Kevin, they ran right into a stunt. They brought that extra guy down. They played tight coverage to the outside, and then they slanted off that edge, and they ran right into it.
The Badger defense again does its job, gets the stop, but thanks to the penalty, Minnesota advances the football and now has a chance to flip the field if Santoso can pin him deep. It'll bounce at the 15, take a little gopher roll, not much, and down inside the 14-yard line. Antonio Chenault downs this one. Bart Houston headed back to work, trying to lead his team to a home win. Wisconsin trying to make their statement to move into that top 4 of the college football playoff. They're going to need a win here, and then they're going to need to win that Big Ten championship game to really state their claim as one of the top 4 teams in that playoff scenario. Peavy gets it in motion. Peavy exploding down the sideline. Jazz Peavy turning on the Jets. Peavy breaks 1 tackle, a second, and is finally going to be stopped near the 10-yard line. Celestine and Harden with the tackle, but Jazz Peavy with the biggest play of the game for the Badgers.
There was a phenomenal block out there. And that may have been Fumagalli. I don't know. I believe it was. Watch Fumagalli. There's the first block. There it was. Right there.
Eric Steffes,
yep, that's
who is still down
44.
after making that block, Matt. And then it was off to the races for Jazz Peavy.
But I got to tell you, Eric is right there. That's the block. He tried to undercut him, and that's probably what got him. But Peavy down that right sideline, and this is good defense at the
Personal
end.
foul, illegal block below the waist. Defense number 11.
Yeah.
Penalized half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
I'm a big Paul Christ fan. I think Paul Christ is a coach of the year guy. I think he's done a phenomenal job with his football team.
Bradrick Shaw is the running back on first down and goal. Shaw the carry, and Shaw airborne to the 2. Winfield with the tackle. It's second and goal.
Corey Clement coming back in, which tells you how much confidence they have. I know you put the ball on the ground, but here, we're trusting you down here. We need this, so let's go get it. Corey, you're our best player. Let's prove it.
1 touchdown today, 12 on the season. 22 carries for 88 yards since October 15th. He's had 5 games over 100, and he's second in all of football with 163 carries coming into today, 22 more today. Clement on second down behind his lead blocker in for the touchdown, and the Badgers take the lead.
Just power football. Just a power to the right. You're pulling your backside guard, and then Corey Clement has to do 2 things. First, he has to exhibit some patience and allow things to develop. And then once he sees it, he's got to really hit the button right there and then power through. And you can see he was able to get through before any body part was down, and it's the correct call.
Second rushing touchdown today, 13th on the year for Corey Clement. And Wisconsin already headed to the Big Ten championship game, trying to go with Paul Bunyan Axe secured here in Madison. Extra point up and good for Andrew Endicott. And a touchdown lead for Wisconsin. Corey Clement getting some reaction and some celebration in on the sidelines in a 1-touchdown game. 6:42 remaining in the 4th quarter. Kevin Kugler, Matt Millen, Lisa Byington with you. Our entire BTN crew in Madison. Badgers have just taken a 1-touchdown lead with 6:42 to play in the 4th. Wisconsin looks very much like they'll be playing Penn State. The Nittany Lions up big over Michigan State right now. We know the Badgers are in thanks to Iowa's win over Nebraska yesterday. That's the Big Ten championship game. This the battle for the Axe, and the kickoff to the back of the end zone for the touchback for Minnesota. Gophers had 226 yards in the first half, 65 in the second. Leidner on first down, steps away from pressure, into traffic again, and trying to find Eric Carter. Can't make the play, second down.
Good coverage. They try to clear that whole right side, and then bring him back underneath. There's Jay Johnson, the defensive coordinator, rather. Offensive coordinator, sorry. You can see the concepts. You just have to get the ball to him. And right now, Leidner has just hit a cold patch.
0 for his last 7. See if they can find Drew Wolotarski. He's in that slot to the bottom of your screen. Second down. Look in that direction. Instead goes to the sideline for still, and it's broken up. Jamerson there. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and long. Defensively, you got to make a decision if you're Justin Wilcox. You're going to sit back and let you play a zone, or you're going to bring a little bit of pressure and see if Leidner reacts to it. And then the other thing is you can play a zone and bring in extra guy.
Third down and 10. Wisconsin a little confused, shifting around quickly as Leidner gets the shotgun snap. Pressure coming over the middle, and it's intercepted again. Jacobs with the pick. Jacobs down the sidelines and inside the 10. The 3rd Leidner interception thrown today, and Wisconsin's got 1st and goal. Interceptions in the second half for Mitch Leidner.
He had some pressure, Kevin, but he just needed to be a little more judicious with that ball because it was a crossing route. He knew he was going to have to take time. Crossing routes take time. Here he comes back underneath. You can see the crossers, and he just missed him. He missed him poorly. Of course, I don't know if you can miss him. Well, I mean...
Oh, if it goes into the hands of one of your other teammates.
Well, then you didn't miss him.
You missed the one guy you were throwing to. Dario Ogunbowale is the running back on 1st down. That's PV in motion. Ogunbowale with the carry up the middle. Touchdown!
Let's see if he's all the way in. See if a body part didn't touch before that ball crossed the goal line. Regardless of that, Ben Benshaw, number 66, had a great block. Let's see what goes on here. Yeah, that's close.
Endicott with the extra point and a 31-17 lead for the Wisconsin Badgers. 6:15 to go, and Paul Christ looking for that axe. Wisconsin trailed 17-7. 24 unanswered points, helped in a large part by 3 second-half interceptions thrown by Mitch Leidner, and the Wisconsin with a 2-touchdown lead.
It's been a tale of 2 games. I mean, really, or halves rather. Leidner in the first half was lights out. In the second half has not gone his way at all.
Leidner into traffic again, and Eric Carter the intended receiver, but he was well covered. Lubrin Figaro was there, and it's 2nd down. Paul Bunyan's Axe has been a part of this border rivalry since 1948. They used to play for the Slab of Bacon, which got lost and then was discovered in a... Badgers have won 12 straight. And Mitch Leidner, look at the numbers from the first to the second half. Leidner again, hit as he throws, going deep, and that one is intercepted again! The 4th pick in the second half for the Badgers, and the 2nd for Sojourn Shelton.
Great pressure up the middle. Hit him right square in the bully bone, and that was Watt. This is the time of the defense comes to life, and watch, here he comes. Right through. Good clean hit, but he lays it out. This is really a great job of Shelton just going and getting the ball.
Another BTN standout play, the interception. Shelton, the bobble, and the secure.
Has his little hoodie on underneath there just in case he gets cold. Just flops that thing right on
Put it
top
over the helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
8 passing touchdowns allowed, 21 interceptions, 4 of them in the second half tonight. And now the Badgers can do what they do best, sit on a lead. On first down at the 43, Rollis with another play. Nick Rollis, the senior, has played a whale of a game today. Loss of 1 on the play back to the 42-yard line.
I think one of the things that Paul Chryst does best is he knows his players. The sign of good coaching.
Timeout of the half. Minnesota. It's the 32nd timeout.
Minnesota will take that quick timeout.
Yeah.
Paul Chryst and one of his 2 quarterbacks, Alex Hornibrook, who was injured in that first half and obviously out for the rest of this game in his street clothes. But Bart Houston, the other quarterback, has done a fine job leading this Wisconsin team back from a 10-point deficit.
Yeah, and it goes to what I was saying. The sign of good coaching is don't ask your players to do something they're not capable of doing. And sometimes you have a scheme and you go, this is what we do, and you have a guy who can't really do it. That's bad coaching. I see it all the time. This guy plays to his strengths, and he does a great job with it.
Bradrick Shaw on the carry on 2nd and 11 at the 42, and Shaw going to lose another yard back to the 41-yard line. And a timeout going to be utilized by Minnesota. I'm not sure the clock ever ran. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside for another 30-second timeout. Paul Chryst, better get a thank you note in the mail to you. Negotiating on his behalf. 3rd and 12. Peavy in motion, and Peavy will get the carry. Breaks the tackle in the backfield. Got a block with a flag down, and Peavy down at the line of scrimmage at the 41. It was David Edwards, the freshman on the edge, who had the flag land at his feet.
Who's played a pretty good game here. Edwards has played a pretty good right tackle.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 79. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
And you're going to watch him. As soon as he hits him, he's going to turn to look. Say he looks at the official like, did you see that?
Hard to miss. Right in the middle there of that play. So 4th down, and Wisconsin will punt it back to Minnesota. Anthony Lottie with Keontae Harden and Antonio Chenault back deep. Badgers letting the clock run a little bit here.
Yeah, well, there you go. Run that thing down.
And that punt into the end zone for the touchback. TJ Watt running down on special teams. He's been all over the field, and thus is our Duluth Trading hardest working player. 6 tackles, 1.5 sacks for TJ Watt. That's 9.5 now on the year, and Watt's been all over the field today.
He plays the same way his brother plays. He plays hard all the time. He never quits. He's one of those guys who's a smart player. When the opportunity comes, he takes advantage of it. Plays on special teams. Does everything you want from a player. He could come back, but there's JJ, his brother. And
look at the comparison. The 2010 season for JJ Watt, this season for TJ Watt. You know, not saying, but
not bad.
TJ Watt, not bad indeed. Leidner in trouble again. He's going to run, and now he'll slide. It's where he starts his slide, where they will mark it at the 22. Ryan Conley was the nearest Badger to the play. And Wisconsin will happily allow Leidner to scramble for 2 yards.
So Watt could come back next year, but I would doubt it. I think he's NFL ready, and I think he'll be a high pick.
Leidner has to throw that one away. The pressure from Vince Beagle. And now 3rd and 8. And we've talked about the struggles in the second half for the Gophers, but from a graphic illustration standpoint, these are the results of their second half drives. Pick, punt, punt, pick, pick. Not what you're looking for when you're trying to win the Axe on the road. 3rd and 8.
Oh, nice move.
And sacked again. Dooley and Beagle meeting at Leidner. The 5th Badger sack. Minnesota had allowed just 9 all year entering play today.
Yeah, I want you to watch Beagle's spin move. It's a thing of beauty. It's exactly as you coach it up. Watch him down in the bottom. And so you're going to use the momentum of the offensive guy against him. See that? Boom. That is just, that is really pretty. Dooley on the backside, another good job also, but Vince Spiegel, once they start to lean, you use it against them, it's just like a log falling down.
Santoso with the punt. Driving PB back with a fair catch to the 38-yard line, and with 2:38 to go, the Badgers will start again. Look more at that spin.
That is really, see how he got his upfield shoulder, and then you pin him with that elbow. And he did it just picture perfect. Vince Spiegel, the old cranberry farmer that he is, he's, I'd have him on my team every time. Like, guys like that, those are the kind of guys you win with all the time.
Wisconsin in the victory formation. Penn State with 4 minutes to go is up by 26 points over Michigan State. I think we can safely say next Saturday at 8 Eastern on Fox, your Big Ten championship game, Wisconsin and Penn State. And the winner of that game, will they have enough and get enough help to become a potential second Big Ten team in the college football playoff? One would assume that Ohio State will be able to retain a spot in the top 4 despite not making it to the Big Ten championship game.
One thing is clear. The Big Ten is the strongest conference in college football, and I also believe they have the best coaching in all the conferences of college football.
And there, the happiest moment for the Badgers. The Axe stay in Madison. The 13th straight win in the series for Wisconsin, and the Big Ten West champs will take the Axe for now. They'll look for another trophy next week in Indianapolis. And Wisconsin's defense closes 6 straight series without allowing a first down. Dominance to close the game by the Badger D. 5 sacks, 4 interceptions, and no first downs in the last 6 series as we go downstairs to Lisa Byington.
Coach, you were down by 10 at the half. You scored 24 unanswered points. What enabled this comeback here for your team?
Well, I think you certainly great job defensively. Takeaways, we were really good defensively and took advantage of those opportunities, short fields, and finished it off. And it was takes everyone.
On offense, you had to go with Bart Houston. What did you see from your quarterback to handle this kind of situation on his senior day here in the second half?
You know, he's come in and last few weeks he's been playing really well and doing some good stuff, and he competes and he does a great job of working, and he was himself. He didn't do anything out of the ordinary, but it was good. He was really good for us, and appreciate the way he's going about it. And it was a good team win today.
13 straight now against Minnesota. What does it mean for this program, for you and the 13 seniors, to keep the Axe in Madison?
The biggest thing is this team was able to do it this year, right? And all those streaks, it's good history, but for this team, this day, they had to go play a good Minnesota team and win to get the Axe, and now they get to enjoy it.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Congratulations to Paul Christ and the Wisconsin Badgers, winners 31-17. The Axe stays in Madison for a 13th straight year. That'll do it from Camp Randall. Our final score 31-17. Wisconsin coming up. The State Farm postgame report. Dave and the gang will get you caught up on the final week of Big Ten play. For the final time this season, for Matt Millen, Lisa Byington, and Mike Pereira, and our outstanding BTN crew, I'm Kevin Kugler, saying so long from Madison.